G'day Seagulls fans, welcome to our round 4 team announcement video on Seagulls TV, and joining me to take us through all the action for this week's rivalry clash with Port Melbourne is football manager Chris Dixon. Chris, we'll get straight into it, and some really good news with Lachie Schultz set to make his senior VFL debut.
Yeah, we're really excited about seeing what Lachie can do. So he's shown really good form, I guess, throughout our practice games and also in the early games of the season. So it's a pretty exciting youngster that we've got with us. So looking forward to seeing him in action, and I'm sure he's going to make an impact straight up.
We'll get straight into the team this week. So as we look at the back line, a pretty settled defence. Willie Wheeler named on half back there. He was immense last week with some really big statistics.
Yeah, really pleased with the way he's going. Look, he was probably one of a few guys who bounced back after probably below par game against Box Hill the week before. So really happy with that way the midfield groups were rotating around, and now they all got their hands on a fair bit on the weekend, which is good.
He was immense, and we'll look at the midfield as well. And Nick Meese had another Herculean effort. I heard Colo describe that after the game. 62 hitouts versus Casey. He was dominant in the ruck.
Yeah, it seems to like playing out at Casey Fields. I reckon if he played there each week, it'd be a fair chance of winning the list, and well, he keeps telling us that anyway. So no, it is one of his favourite grounds, and his performance last week was outstanding. He really set the tone for our mids in there. So hopefully he can bring that same intensity and do it again this week.
And moving on to the forward line now, and Aaron Sipos kicked 4 last week, probably could have kicked 6 or 7 in the end. That was a really promising display, and he's another one who looks like he enjoys playing out at Casey.
Yeah, he's had a couple of good games out there in the practice game and also last week. So look, we know with Sip he's got the ability to sort of play both on ball and also up forward. So it's a really good mix for us to have. Like, he'll spend time in the midfield, but also be a real dangerous matchup when he does go forward. So his versatility is really important for us. And gives us a different dimension when he is down there. So we'll see him on ball sometimes, we'll see him up forward sometimes, but that versatility is really important for us. And when he can hit the scoreboard like he did against Casey, it's a great asset for us as a team.
Look at the interchange bench now, and a couple of players I want to talk about. The first one being Lachie Schultz. Where will he sort of spend most of his time when he's on the field on Sunday?
Yeah, he spent most of his time at development level playing on ball, and even looking back to where he played at his junior football back home, sort of Moama, and also with the Bendigo Pioneers, or sort of midfield, but also a bit of time forward. So probably expect that again on the weekend. What we really like about Lachie is just his pressure around the ball. He's a real hard-at-it youngster. I guess one of these guys who's probably benefited from playing not only TSC Cup, but also playing overage football as a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old last year. So he's certainly one that we think can really mix it straight away at VFL level, and really excited about what he can produce, and I'm sure he's going to come in and have an impact straight away.
Looking forward to seeing him out there. And the second player is Cameron Lockwood, named in both senior and development. It'd be good to see him out there just playing football.
Yeah, exactly. And look, there's still probably a couple of boxes that we need to tick at training tonight, and also have a brief run on Saturday. So look, that'll determine, I guess, where Cam lines up if he plays at all. But look, if he does get out there, we're really looking forward to seeing him back in action. So it's been, I guess, missing the first 3 games, but everyone will remember his last game in the grand final, and even his finals campaign where he was named our best finals player. So hopefully he can get through, and look, we'll hopefully see him at some point on the day on Sunday, but it's just a question probably where at this stage.
Hopefully we do see him out there. Our opponent's Port Melbourne. They've also won 2 games, lost 1 game. A little bit different to us. We've kicked some big scores, and they've kicked smaller scores, but been able to really hold their opposition at bay in terms of the on scoreboard pressure. That's going to be an intriguing battle to see which way that one goes.
They're really impressive last week against the Northern Blues. It was looked like it's a pretty windy day out there, but they really defended really well, as you said. I think they've made some quality additions to their back half, which have really strengthened them up down there. So look, certainly, as you mentioned, they have been able to do really strong defensive jobs on their opposition so far, and really impressive how they sort of restricted the Northern Blues ball movement, and especially when they were probably defending a sort of 4 or 5 goal wind out there at Preston last week. They were able to sort of stem that flow of the opposition attacks and really use it to set up their own ball movements. So that's something we've got to be mindful of. We know we're going to be coming up against a really strong defensive unit, so it'll be interesting to see how we can counteract that.
Is that their biggest strength, do you think, or are there other areas where they'll look to hurt us?
I think they're pretty well-rounded side. As I said, I think they've strengthened their back line, bringing in someone like a Brody Myercheck from Werribee, Sam Crocker from Box Hill, a couple of really handy additions down there. When you look at their midfield, there's always plenty of guys around there who have just been seasoned campaigners. I mean, the likes of Pinwheel, Chris Kane, these quality players who have been around the competition for a while. So You have a look at every line, and they do have match winners, even up front. Like have a look at the guys, someone like a Josh Chapone, who hasn't played too much football, but looked pretty dangerous on the weekend. So, a bit like us, probably their overall depth is one of their strengths. They're not sort of relying on one or two players. I guess that's probably the way of standalone sides going forward, to have that spread of quality all over the ground. That's what makes them such a good side. So, it's not probably just one line we've got to be cautious of. It's going to be a whole ground performance, and hopefully we can look to use that to our advantage on the weekend.
Well, it's set to be a huge day. It's also our past players' day out there on Sunday, so obviously we encourage all past players and officials to get down and watch us take on the old rivals in Port Melbourne. We've got another President's Brunch beginning at 10:30, where we've got Charlie Bazina from Greyhound Racing Victoria speaking, as well as two legends of the club in Mark Fotheringham and Bill Swan, who obviously played a lot of football with Port Melbourne and Williamstown, so I'm sure he'll have some great stories to tell there. So if you'd like to come along to that, tickets are $60 and can be purchased through the club by calling 93910309. And also it's a triple header on Sunday, so the developments begin at 9, the seniors at 11:40, and then we've got our TAC Cup affiliate side, the Western Jets, taking on Dandenong at 2:30. So a great opportunity, Chris, for the supporters to see perhaps the new Seagulls coming through.
Yeah, look, the Jets are a huge part of obviously what we're about, and we've got a large percentage of players on our list who have come through the Western Jets, including lots of guys who are running around in both teams on the weekends. So it's a great chance to sort of involve them and have both teams playing on the same day. So it's hopefully, if the parents of Western Jets players can come along and watch our game before, and then hang around and watch the Jets play afterwards. So huge day football, 3 games. It's going to be a long day for everyone, but we're looking forward to it and going to hopefully see 3 wins from teams wearing blue and gold.
Well, good luck on the weekend, Chris, and we'll see you all out there on Sunday at